Hey guys,
How's it going, everybody?
what's happening?
Thanks for stopping by on your Tuesday. Today we're talking about how to break the news that you're going tiny to your friends, family, and the outside world. And should you care what they have to say about it? Maybe you don't.
Good question.
If you don't know us, I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian, and we are Tiny House Expedition.
We've been living in a DIY tiny home for almost 4 years, though we're not in it at the moment.
Not right now. We're still in Raleigh, North Carolina, helping my mom downsize.
Yep. Can't wait to get back to the little home and experience some beautiful Oregon spring weather.
Yeah, it's already getting hot here. I can feel it through the window. It's amazing. Oh.
Yeah, 86.
Yeah.
And 86% humidity. Gross. Well, if you are new to our channel, we bring you tiny house and travel inspiration, advocacy news, and tools to help you achieve your goals of creating a more fulfilling life and home. And on that note, so maybe you made the big decision already that you want to move into a tiny home. So the time's come where you got to let some people know
Yep.
about it.
The apprehensive telling of people.
Yes, because as popular as tiny houses are, it's not always easy to say, hey, guess what? I'm going to live in 200 square feet.
Yeah.
Or 130 square feet.
Yeah.
Like us crazies.
Yeah. Maybe your parents are the ones that are not excited about it.
Yeah, totally. So we want to help you prepare for spilling the news and with some tools, some quick tools for how to do it in a way that makes you feel comfortable and confident.
Which is really good. Everybody needs that little bit of pump. We're trying to help you out here a little bit.
All right, let's do this, everybody. All right, so before you tell anyone you're going tiny, it's a good idea to get your ducks in a row with key talking points. So for starters, why are you going tiny in the first place? There's tons of reasons to go tiny. We each have our own. Sometimes we have a primary reason like financial concerns, but then there's other secondary reasons. You know, whether it's to have a place of your own, to save for retirement, to spend time pursuing your passions, or maybe to start a new career, like working for yourself, which can be risky. Whatever your reasons for dramatically downsizing, they're worthwhile. They're your goals, and living tiny will likely help you achieve them.
What's your game plan? Plan for the big transition.
Yep. You're going to have to create a plan for going tiny. So, you know, if you haven't already thought through these big questions, like how you're going to finance it, where and when you plan to build it, if you plan to build it yourself, or who you're going to get it from. And after it's ready, where are you going to park? If you haven't thought through those questions already, it's probably a good time to do that just for yourself. But if you have answers to these questions, or at least, you know, have thought it through well enough, you'll be much better prepared to answer questions that you're going to get about it. Because these are the three big things that people are going to start poking holes. Well, where are you going to put the darn thing?
Totally. And Jake had a good idea. Call it the freedom plan, the tiny freedom plan.
Ooh, I love that.
That's great. Yeah.
The tiny freedom plan. Trademark Jake. Good one. All right. Next big question. Who are you doing this for?
This is a really big one because, you know, a lot of people just do what they think society's asked of them, and they go right into school and then right out of school and into a mortgage. And sometimes those people aren't doing it for themselves. They're just doing what they think they should be doing. So knowing who you're doing it for is important. Absolutely.
And that's you, right? It's your life. I hear Bon Jovi playing in my head right now. It's your life. I mean, maybe that involves your immediate family, your spouse, and maybe your kids, but you're doing this for you because you're the one who's in charge of your life, It's not your loved ones. Sorry, mom. Care about you. That doesn't mean you don't value the opinions of those you care about. But if someone really cares about you, they want what's best for you, and they want you to be happy.
It's absolutely true.
Okay, so with all that in mind, it's time to prepare your statement. So before you spill the tiny beans, we've identified the who, what, where, and why of your big life decision. Now you're going to be able to answer questions that are going to come up. And, remember, this is your plan, your life, right? You can share as much or as little as you want. You don't have to justify your actions. But I'm going to guess that you're probably stoked. You're probably pretty jazzed about your tiny house plans, your tiny freedom plan, and you're going to want to share it with people.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to keep this kind of stuff a secret.
Right, just like Stephanie in that picture. She's like, excited, I'm in a tiny house.
Her tiny house. And she convinced and then married a tiny house builder.
Yeah, and then made the right house, the house she wanted.
But hey, she was a woman on a mission, and they're both pretty happy.
But everybody doesn't have to marry a tiny house builder.
No, you can
still get it.
Just a fun fact here.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you are ready, I urge you to share your plan with earnest. Be sincere, and it's going to be easy. You're passionate, you're fired up about this, but maybe try something sort of like this. I've put much thought and research into how to achieve my goals of whatever they are. And the tiny home is going to help me accomplish those goals. And it would really mean a lot if you would support my decision. I'm happy to answer any questions you have, and I'm so excited to show you pictures of my design. Again, this is just one stab. You could do it however you want, but this just kind of, what I liked about this is you're kind of leading with what you want to achieve, and you're doing it in a way that shows that you care about them, but most importantly, that you're confident in what you're doing is going to help you. And I think it's really hard to argue with something like that. But nonetheless, you might want to brace for impact. Because, depending on your best friend's view of housing or what your mom thinks you should be doing with your life, it might not be pretty what they say. Even though they love the shows, because I bet you most of them love watching
other people do it.
Yeah.
Not their little baby.
But
what'd you put a picture of me struggling for?
This is bracing for impact. All right. So questions.
I didn't see this before she put it up, so that's funny.
Questions are going to come up and valid concerns, but you're ready to respond because you got a detailed plan, right? And this is all about you, what's best for you, nobody else. So if you're grounded in that, let me tell you, you're unstoppable, or you're on your way to being unstoppable. And it really doesn't matter what criticism comes up. I mean, it really doesn't, because I think once you get hip to the fact that life is short and going after what makes you happy and what's going to help you achieve your goals is of the essence. There's no time like now to get going. So if someone is going to be overly critical of you, in person or on social media or whatever, remind them, hey, you know what? I'm doing what's best for me. I'm trying to achieve my goals. And guess what, y'all? You can do you. You don't need to live in 150 square feet.
Absolutely. You can live in any size house you want to.
Yeah. Or you can do whatever kind of job you want to do.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I wanted to share a really cool story. These are up with them when they just started living in their tiny house in Florida, and they had some pretty ambitious plans to pay off their house and some other credit card debt in the next couple of years. Those were their goals that they were trying to achieve, and so they made some big changes. They got rid of their super expensive apartment. They even started working extra jobs to do what needed to be done. And guess what? Just a couple of years later, these guys killed it. They just paid off like $125,000.
Jeez. And are they holding their diplomas? Is that what those
Yep.
are? Yeah. So college, cars, and their tiny house. How about that? $125,000. That's amazing.
These guys are a real inspiration. Look them up on Instagram. I'll put a link below. And now they were parked at a mobile home park in Florida. They just got a new job in North Texas and are going to be one of the first houses to move into the new Lake Dallas tiny house village.
That's right.
So there is something, to keep in mind is obviously we've put forth a very positive view of, of how to go about this. And because we really do believe in, if you're grounded and doing what's good for you, that you're just sharing the good news and hopefully people will support you.
Mm-hmm.
But it may happen that someone in your life is a doubter or is really negative about what you're doing. They might just think you're crazy. Mm-hmm. You might need to take a break from them.
Yeah, maybe just for a little while. And sometimes it's hard when they're actually in your life and they are a doubter. But we've mostly come across people that are not in our lives. People that we meet along the way that have lots and lots of questions and don't get it. So, but
I certainly probably had some people I worked with, very nice people who come to mind, and my dad might fall into this category also, where he's like,
my parents did too.
You want to do what?
Yeah.
Okay. But as we dedicated to achieving our goals and we were just all in, we're doing it. And we made steps. Well, at different stages, some of those people saw that. They saw us achieving milestones. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Then they started to get excited for us.
Yeah.
Then they started getting more involved and more supportive. Change is hard, especially for other people
Yep.
who can't relate to it. So
yeah, totally.
It might take someone a little bit of time to wrap their head around it, but they might come around. I mean, if someone really cares about you, they're going to come around at some point. And if they don't, I don't know, maybe good riddance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Sometimes it does let you know exactly who your friends are. So,
yeah. And the cool thing is, we personally have your back. There's tons of people in the tiny house community that you can meet in online groups, at events, at local meetups. We love those.
Yeah, meetups are awesome.
You're going to find some people who can relate to you, and that's important because sometimes you might feel isolated, like nobody gets it. And this is even with how popular the shows are. All of us tiny folk are still like a teeny tiny percentage.
Oh, yeah.
Less than 1% of people live, or 1% about lives in 1,000 square feet or less.
Or less, yeah.
That was of 2015 stat. Mm-hmm. So of that 1%, we're like a fraction
of that.
So anyhow, find those people.
Yeah. We're those people. We're here, man. We're your support group. That's why we do this stuff.
And we 100% believe in it. And no matter where you are in your life, there is a way to achieve it. There are tools out there. It might take longer than you'd like, but it can be done. We're going to put some links below.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely check out our blog and resource directory. Do you, y'all?
Absolutely do you.
So we wanted to let you guys know, like we talked about last week, we're going to be at the Atlantic Station Tiny House Festival, Mother's Day weekend. Mm-hmm. And we're doing a tiny house life planning workshop. And guess what? We are giving away one workshop ticket for Saturday. Mm-hmm. We're going to put the details below for how you can win that ticket. Mm-hmm. Because we hope to see you at the workshop and to help kickstart your downsizing tiny life transition from start to completion. So definitely look for that.
Yep.
And thanks again for stopping by.
Absolutely. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you like this video and like the videos that we do, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe and ring that little bell. So that lets you know when we're going live like this, when we have another video drop.
Appreciate it. And one more thing, question of the day. I almost forgot.
What is it?
What do you want to ask us? Next week, we're doing our live video is going to be 100% Q&A. So send us your questions ahead of time. Stop by the chat. I think we're going to do it in the evening next time. So if you have a time preference, let us know also.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, let us know the time preference you'd like to watch these. If 3:30 Eastern doesn't work, maybe 6 o'clock Eastern works or something.
So yeah, let's chat. See you next time.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Bye.